Thank you. Hi, Dean. Well played. Dean, it's been a good summer, I guess, 5 out of 7 test wins. How would you assess the progress of the team and just where you stand after the summer?
Yeah, I think not a lot of people would have given us those kind of stats the start of the season, but yeah, it's great to have those numbers on our side. But I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that went into this. It didn't just happen by fluke. Yeah, we've had an extremely successful summer. I think as not just a test side, but a cricketing nation. I think we're on the right path, doing things in the correct way from a team point of view. Yeah, so there's a lot of things for us to build on, but obviously my job is to dissect and try and get the negatives out of still having a very successful summer, which is something that I'll be doing in my time off. I've got quite a lot of time off now, and yeah, it's obviously the work that I have to do. But by all means, extremely proud of the test summer we've had, and also the depth that we've shown with regards to our selection pool, and giving guys opportunity just so that they can kind of see what test cricket's all about. So yeah, extremely proud of the group of players that we fielded over the last few months. Yeah, and a lot of positives going forward for us to grow.
Great.
Hi, Dean. Well played and congratulations. Great summer. I was actually going to ask you about the areas where you think you've grown, but you sort of touched on that. But maybe if you want to expand, but then you also brought up the negativity. So, seeing as you did, what are those sort of negative areas that you want to see improvement in?
Obviously, from a batting point of view, we need to notch up a few more hundreds. I mean, that's a lot of emphasis on my plate as well. Our senior guys, when we get into good positions, we need to get those 3-figure marks. We know how much that stands for from a batting point of view, how much pressure you put on the opposition when you are able to get those 3-figure marks. But in saying that, there's a lot to build on, and those are obviously the kind of positives that I want to draw on. Yeah, I think our batting department is most probably the one negative area that we haven't kind of nailed down those hundreds. On any other given day or any other different scenario, we might have been sitting on quite a good pool of number of hundreds, but yeah, I think that's the one area of focus that I think we as a group are extremely aware of, and yeah, we're working bloody hard to get those hundreds, don't get me wrong, but I think it's maybe a case of stop working or trying too hard and just kind of focus on the moment, and not focus on too far ahead. So yeah, I think just offhand, that's maybe the one area.
Thanks.
Good.
Dennis, followed by Zahir and then Talcud.
How's it, Dean? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Touching on the batting lineup, obviously in the bowling department, you guys have a lot of options now. But in the batting, also a guy like Aiden and Rassi are supposed to come back after the IPL. What would be the plan for the sort of batting group or batting lineup? Do you have an ideal situation in mind going to England?
Honestly, I don't think the statement of them coming back is a fair one. I think the guys that have played right now have made a massive statement with regards to the few opportunities that they've had. And I mean, ultimately, it was for us to give those guys opportunity to see what Test cricket's almost about. But in saying that, we have got a decent batting pool going forward now. But yeah, I don't know. I can't speak of if those guys are going to be selected or not again. That's kind of out of my hands. But yeah, it was nice to see young guys like Ryan Rickleton come in and actually take to it pretty well. Obviously, the intensity of Test cricket wasn't quite like playing against maybe England per se, but he still got a little bit of taste, and he kind of understands the arena now and what we kind of expect him going forward as a player. So yeah, I can't really speak right now of combinations going forward. There's still plenty of time ahead of us to kind of iron out those creases and hopefully get the best balance going forward for us.
Zahir?
Hi, Dean. Well done on the series win in the summer. Just looking ahead to England. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you
Okay,
go
now we
again,
can hear
please?
you.
Yeah, I said just congratulations on the series win, and but just looking ahead to England, a couple of years ago, you captained at Lords and you were kind of thrown into it. How much do you see yourself progressing since then to now, going ahead of that tour like that?
Yeah, obviously that was a part-time basis. It was only a once-off, so you can't really do your own thing. I think now, obviously, being full-time captain, you kind of implement and you try and install ways of play that you want to try and get the group to buy into. So I think from a leadership point of view, I've come along leaps and bounds just purely out of bit more experience and obviously being able to kind of put my own leadership stamp or captaincy stamp on the group. So yeah, it's tough when you do it once off. I won't look too much into what happened in that result. But yeah, hopefully going forward and the experiences I've gained and the confidence I've gained as well from a captaincy point of view can help me be a lot better. Let's put it that way. Maybe at that time I wasn't as experienced or as confident as I am now. So yeah, it was a great learning experience. Don't get me wrong, and I think Lords got the better of me in that test because you are playing at Lords. Whereas now I've had that experience, I've had that reference point, and now hopefully I've nailed down a style of play that we can all follow going forward. I know the players have the buy-in with regards to having different styles of play, which is a great thing to have. So yeah, come August, hopefully it will be a different kind of result for us as a Proteas side.
Salford, and then we'll finish with Amir.
As a Dean, well done on the win and all the runs you scored. Are you enjoying the captaincy? I mean, it looks very much like you're enjoying what happens on the field, you know, when you're in control. But the job is obviously bigger than that. I'm sure you'd rather be in the dressing room having a beer now rather than talking to the likes of us. So are you enjoying all aspects of captaincy?
Okay, everything comes with a challenge. I like challenges, which is why I'm still playing Test cricket at nearly 35. I still feel I've got a lot of good years left and maybe even my best years left in me. I really enjoy it now. I think if I was a lot younger, I might not have enjoyed it as much. But if you're playing good cricket and you're getting results coming your way, it's always going to ease in the burden of captaincy. By all means, this is a massive privilege to captain your country, and yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. The last year has been extremely testing off the field, but I've got an amazing core of players around me that understand me firstly as a character, respect me as a player and as a person, and they kind of understand the nature of cricket that I want to play going forward. And slowly but surely everyone's buying in, and I think most of the senior guys have bought into it now going forward. And yeah, I think we're in a very special place, which makes me feel a lot happier about what I'm doing. But again, if you're getting results going your way and you're playing good and healthy and strong cricket, that definitely does ease in the burden of captaincy, no doubt.
Amir?
Congratulations on your performances and also the series win, captain. We meant that it was mentioned about the upcoming series. Obviously, you have a little bit of time off now, but we then go to England before going to Australia and then welcoming West Indies. How nice is it to have the selection headache that you might be sitting with, with the group of players who've performed so well now, in addition to the more regulars, if we can put that in quotes, coming back into the fold for those assignments, if we could call it that. Thank you.
Yeah, ultimately, my message for the new guys coming in was to put those guys under pressure to go out there and make a play for yourself, make a play for the team, and play as a team player. And just put those guys under pressure and make sure that their selection is definitely warranted, and they mustn't undersell their value as a young new cricketer coming into an environment where they're pretty fresh. It is a great headache to have, trust me. I'd rather, for me, it's a great headache to have. You always want options. You want more options than none. And I think just by giving guys experience, you're obviously creating a lot more depth going forward. We've got a few extremely challenging away series coming up. But we're just going to have to focus on the first one coming up. We can't look too far ahead. We've got to focus on the England series first and foremost. And yeah, I think at the moment now, our test side is in a very, very healthy position. We're very grateful for the cricket we've played this summer. It could have been a lot worse, and I would have been sat here with a different look on my face. But yeah, I think we're in a very, very fortunate and strong position by giving guys exposure at this level. And guys have put their hands up brilliantly. And it's great to see guys competing at this level as well.
Thanks very much,
Awesome.
Dean.
Thank you. Enjoy your time off.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Please stand by for Mark Boucher, who's coming up.
Not in chat.
You're done. In the meantime, may I please ask that you please indicate on the chat panel if you would like to ask a question for Mark Boucher. We'll start with Craig, Fidos, and then Heinz.
How's Mark? Congratulations on a good summer and great results in this test. How would you assess the summer? It didn't come without challenges, thinking the first test against New Zealand probably, and also losing a lot of frontline players for this test. But how would you assess that performance over the summer?
I think it was a good summer from where we were. And, I think we're still learning. We're definitely not a completed side yet. I think we had some challenges along the way. We had some times where we played very good cricket. We had times where we played some competitive cricket. We had 1 or 2 bad games. Just think of the first test against India, the first test against New Zealand. There may be reasons for those games being like that, but I think for me the good part was that we learned our lessons. We spoke about those mistakes we made, and we've grown a lot in a short space of time, and the results have been good as well. So I think all in all a successful summer.
Fidos.
Hi, Mark, well done. Just Dean was talking a little bit about the selection headache and that you face now. What's your position on that? Obviously, you've got some guys who I guess may or may not come back from the IPL. They'll come back, but I guess they may not be picked. Just where do you think the depth and the health of our cricket is at the moment?
I think it's good. I think what it has done is given us the opportunity to play a couple of other players and have a look and see what sort of players we got in our system that we can use and utilize in certain conditions. I mean, these conditions have been completely different. We always knew that the wickets were going to have more turn, especially at the 2 venues that we played. So it's given guys opportunity to come out there and play a different brand of cricket, which has been something that's been very, very good to watch. And it certainly has, as coaches, given us, that sort of look at our whole squad and makeup of our team and given us some, as you say, headaches. I wouldn't say headaches. It's a nice position to be in. And I also think it's healthy for the squad. The guys coming back from RPL, they did go to the RPL and sort of vacate their spots. And the one thing that is always good for a team is if there's good competition within the squad, and I think there is now. So it's a nice position for us to be out. I think when I started, I spoke about the depth wasn't quite there through COVID. We had a look at a lot of players, and I think it's starting to pay off now. The guys that sort of left, the new guys coming in, have really played well, and it's given us some great options as coaches and as selectors as well.
Heinz and then Tinus.
Hi, Mark. Congratulations on a very successful summer.
Thank you.
Just from my side, I just wanted to ask, there's been a lot of talk about, like you've mentioned now, the depth and how you guys are gradually evolving and stuff. You've had sort of like 7 tests now to test or at least see the dynamic in that regard as well. How would you assess the dovetailing almost of your 2 leaders, of Dean Elgar and Temba Bavuma? They seem to have a really nice rapport, starting to get going. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Temba alluded to in an interview just now, where he said, they came in as leaders in tough time where South African cricket was, and they've really gelled together, and they've sort of rubbed off on each other. They're completely different characters, but they've got one goal, and that's to try to get us back to where we should be. And that's always going to be very healthy for both squads. So I think they feed off each other, they speak to each other a lot, which is good. And you can see it in their own personal results as well. They're really in good form, and they're leading from the front. So I think, in that regard, I think both of them will probably say as well that they've still got a lot to learn, but certainly a great start. And I think we're in good hands with the two of them having a good relationship and sort of being on the same page about where they want to take South African cricket.
Dennis?
Hi, Mark. Congratulations on the good summer. We all know what's that the hearing and everything is coming up now. I was wondering, the last few months, personally for you, has it been enjoyable to be the coach of the national team, and would you like to continue after this?
It's been tough. I've really enjoyed coaching the guys. The cricketing side of things, we've got a very tight unit together, and I've really enjoyed being around the guys and seeing their developments in their cricket. Outside that, quite difficult for me to say I've enjoyed it. That's just being honest. I don't think anyone in my situation can enjoy what's been put on my plate, but I've enjoyed the cricket side of things, and yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Colin?
Yeah, Mark, it's a bit of a follow-up on that. But as a player, you were involved in successful campaigns in England and Australia. How much would you like to be part of a successful campaign as a coach in those two countries?
I think the person that I am, I'm very competitive, and you want to judge yourself against the best teams in the world. We played against the two best, of recent times in India and New Zealand, and they were tough fought series, which is good, because that's when your competitive spirits sort of come out, and you want to do well against those sides. When I was playing, going to England was always very tough. Going to Australia was always very tough. So it would be nice to compete against them. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we'll finish with Telford and Zahir.
How's it, Barge? Well done. What happens now? And we've mentioned that your hearing is coming up, but I'm interested in what happens before that. Is there a debrief? Do you go for a debrief with the players? I'm talking about cricket matters. Do you go for a debrief with the players? Do you unpack the way the summer's gone? Do you make some plans for the future? What happens now?
Yeah, so the plan is we'll have a personal development plan for each player. We'll talk contracts. Our coaches will sit together with them and talk about areas that they've been good at, and areas that we feel that they can improve as well. There's obviously a World Cup around the corner as well, so we need to do some planning about what sort of team we're looking to select in those different conditions. So a lot of work to be done outside the season as well, but that's all in place, and that'll be happening hopefully within the next month.
And Zahir.
How's it, Mark? Well done on the summer. Possibly on Telford, what you spoke about Telford and taking for granted that you will be in England. You've got two guys in your side that are off to county cricket in the 11 at the moment. How much talks are around them to actually get them available for that series in England, considering they're not contracted to Cricket South Africa?
So he got for you.
Armour and obviously Dwan. As far as I'm concerned, everyone is available. So I've had personal conversations with most of the guys, and they've all come into this setup sort of saying, we want to play for South Africa. And if they're available to play for South Africa, and we believe that they're the right guys to select, then we'll do that. I'd like to think that each guy came here saying that if we select for South Africa, then we'll choose to play for them ahead of any county or franchise team around the world.
Thanks, Mark. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, everyone, for joining us. And I'll have this sent off to you as soon as possible. Have a great one.
Thank you.